Okay, folks, so hi. We're live, and it's good to see you guys. We have a foursome tonight, and we're going to go a different route today for the Force Unleashed, or Force Awakens trailer.
Yes.
We decided to do a different intro, so let's see if you're all paying attention and you can kind of understand where we're going with this. So I'll do the light side. Okay.
So I gotta start the dark side?
No, he's going to do the dark side.
I got the dark side.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Alright.
Let's see how ugly this might get.
Oh boy.
There has been an awakening. I did that wrong already.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Stop. Let me delete that.
Yep.
Podcasting, sorry. I've listened to the trailer too many times. Take two.
Oh, I can go over my marker. That'd work.
Yeah.
Who's the dump, you know?
Yes.
Okay. I gotta do this straight. Okay. Are you done giggling?
Yes.
There has been a podcasting. The dark side.
3.
And the light. Ooh, yes. Hey, folks, welcome to this episode of the GalaxyCast. That was our homage to the Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens trailer. I have with me tonight, as always, Eric the artist.
Good evening.
I have Austin the numpty.
Oh boy.
I have Gary the stud.
That'd be me.
Okay, so we have to talk about the quintessential Star Wars news that has come out as of late. I mean, how could we not? How can we not discuss this? I don't know about you guys, but I was so excited when I heard that it was coming out. Although the day I was kind of like, I was miffed at the timing of it.
Yeah, it was like 10:15 in the morning.
Well, first I was 10:15 in the morning, and it was Black Friday.
Yeah.
What?
You were out shopping. I saw you posting.
I was like, I'm out shopping, and somebody goes, "Have you seen the trailer?" And I go, "What trailer?" They're like, Star Wars. I'm like, "What?
I missed the trailer. What?
Like, what did we do, Austin? The minute we walked in the door, I dumped the bags, and what did we do?
We went over the
race to the computer.
race to the computer. We went. All right, let's watch this.
Well, I was up at midnight, and there were people, placing bets like, is it going to launch right at midnight and stuff? And so I went and I checked iTunes trailers, and they had a little link for it, but it wasn't active. It said, starting, and I'm like, it could be any time today. So I went to bed, got up in the morning, and still wasn't active. And then finally I saw some people going, it's gone up. So I went and I watched. And I remember when the first teaser came out for Phantom Menace, and back then, because the internet speeds were so different, it crashed. I mean, you couldn't see the thing like all day. It took forever. This, I was able to bring it up instantly, watch it. And I'm like,
although YouTube did admit that once it went up on YouTube, it crashed their server twice before they finally fixed that. And then it actually, it crashed the same way the Gungam style crashed. Eric's showing off his sweatshirt now.
yeah, I like this.
Wolverine is better.
So, there's been a lot of internet reaction to this trailer.
Oh yes.
Obviously. I don't know about you guys, but it seems like a lot of the reactions negative, don't you? I mean, don't you guys?
I think
I don't get it.
I just think the positive people stay quiet. They like it. They talk it amongst their friends. They don't feel the need to vent. And then, of course, the people who need to feel like they're being heard,
are the
negatives are the ones that squawk. They're the ones that get on the internet and start posting like crazy. And a lot of them do it. I mean, they're trolling. The people are looking for reactions.
Right.
It's. And some of it is just bad. I mean, there's been racism out there over it, and that just pisses me off.
I agree with you there.
Guy. Oh.
Yeah.
It's...
Well, let's talk about some elements of it. Okay, so one of the things that has been commented on, as Eric just pointed out, is the fact that John Boyega is the first person you see in the trailer, and it's an African-American in a Stormtrooper costume. I did not understand the controversy over this.
It was like, he's in a Stormtrooper costume. Somehow is he... my first thought was, is he really a Stormtrooper? Is it a scene where he's snuck into a suit? I mean, no. And I didn't even think or care, Yeah,
like my first reaction was not like, there's a black guy in a Stormtrooper costume. But my first thing was, geez, I wonder why he's sweating and what he's all upset about. I didn't, that was not a thought process in my, I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't thinking that. I
was like, okay, so you got a black guy in a Stormtrooper suit.
What's the big deal?
I think and they tried to cover it. They tried to rationalize it by saying, well, they're all clones. They're all none of them look like they're that way. And it's like, do you not know your Star Wars? Clones have been around for a long time.
Right, like the Stormtroopers by this point, for those people who don't know, are supposed to be kind of like mercenaries, right? I mean, they're
conscripted.
Conscripted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess drafted is the more modern term for it.
It's like army.
Into the Imperial Army. So it could be any race, any alien could be. There could be Klingon under one of them for all we know. You know, I mean,
or the ETs that we saw.
ET kill you.
No, ET can't hit anything if they're a stormtrooper.
Actually, they'd just be walking around going, touch.
Why did we hire these guys again?
Ow, Chip.
Cleaver.
So that controversy I didn't understand, and that was like the first controversy. And then there was the question about the chick. Like, what was the point behind her?
Yeah,
and I was kind of like,
that was not too big. That I didn't hear a lot of that though.
Yeah, that wasn't too big. That clamoring.
Yeah,
and then the droid.
Well, she's riding the fudge sickle too. So yeah.
Well, now you've pointed that out. I can't see it.
You can't unsee it.
Yeah, this is the problem. And then there came the controversy about the droid. A lot of people didn't like the volleyball droid. I think is the term I saw.
Soccer ball
droid. I didn't think it was awful. I liked the new concept of design behind it. I was trying to pinpoint what the problem was. Gary, you had pointed out, I think, what I believe to be the real problem behind the droid, which is the head.
Yeah.
Which you go ahead, explain to them what you saw as the controversy there.
It just looks like it's not attached to it. It's just bobbling around, bouncing around on top of it.
Right. I think it had a stable head with that thing rolling underneath that people probably would have been okay with.
Like I said, like a neck stalk or something.
Maybe just sticking up a little bit higher.
And like Eric said, he's just bouncing around because he's going across bouncy, rough terrain or something. But, I just got a problem with just sitting there on top.
When that shot came up, I felt like that was out of the entire trailer. That shot was a place for me, only because it felt kind of prequelish. It had that look of, there's CGI, and it's maybe a little humorous, and it's like maybe too humorous. And
considering it's supposed to be on Tatooine by the looks of it, it's too clean.
Yeah, the droid is. I agree with you there.
He has to be dusty.
Especially by this point in time. I mean, you're talking about R2 and C-3PO who are supposed to be kind of old at this point. That droid just looked a little too modern for that.
Well, even those two, when they got on the Tatooine, they became growing.
Well, that's what I mean. They were
right.
Green-filled crime, grimy kind of. Yeah.
It was my least favorite shot.
And then I think probably, maybe I'm wrong, but all four of us at the table agree. Probably one of the best shots of the whole sequence was the Sith walking out and turning on the lightsaber,
the broadsword lightsaber,
which for whatever stupid reason became a controversy. This broadsword lightsaber.
Well, it's just the hand
the
guard,
part of the hilt.
Yeah, the hand guard, whatever you want to call it there. That's what everybody's complaining about the most. Because, that'll cut your hand off.
Well, there was all these complaints that they're like, it's going to hit your own wrist, it'll hurt you, it'll burn you. And then people started saying, well, no, the reason behind it is because think about how many people have lost hands in the course of the movies or arms cut off. So it's supposed to block a lightsaber being slid down towards your hand.
Right.
Which, oddly enough, we've never actually seen happen in most fights, or very little,
Yeah, very little of it.
And they don't really use that whole technique of slide down and trying to hit the guy. But still, it was neat because it's got that kind of medieval feel to it. It felt older. And then people were saying, well, what's the point of it's coming out of these two little casings, and the lightsaber, someone else will just cut the casing off. And it's not like they do that and it will still disarm it, just like when you cut a lightsaber in half and it breaks and the thing turns off.
Right.
If they cut the casing off the side, the hilt is going to have no protection. And then Stephen Colbert had this great thing where he went online and he went on the show and he talked about how he does this whole drawing of it and everything, and he's basically getting all serious about it, and he's saying, no, it's a solid beam in there. It goes in the casing all the way through the hilt to the other side, so they may cut into the hilt, but it'll still stop at the thing. And he's going. So this is how much people have gone off on this fact that there's two little cross lightsaber hilt pieces coming out of there. It's been crazy.
Well, the thing I like about the lightsaber is that it's not smooth. It looks like
it's got jagged edges.
Looks like fire coming out of the hilt.
All I can say is I can't wait to see that cut something.
Right.
Because it's not going to be a smooth cut.
No.
What's it going to do?
No, I think it's going to totally sear it and give jagged. Like the first person that gets their arm sliced off by that, like it'll mangle their. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm looking at. Like if you cut somebody with that lightsaber, it'll mangle the limb, man. It won't just cut it straight off.
Yeah. Well, to go back to what I'm saying is it looks like it's a fire blade coming out.
Yeah.
Right.
And who's to say that's not exhaust ports for the energy?
Well, I actually thought that when it first kicked on. I thought, it's like firing out
exhaust. I get it. Like extra energy just to kind of shoot it out the side just to dissipate it. Yeah.
I thought that too. I thought that would be cool.
So I just like the look of it because it had that Irish Celtic sword look. And if you look at the handle, it is definitely longer. It's more like the Darth Maul handle that's longer, which means you actually wouldn't hold it up close to those. And that was like that argument that people made when you would cut your hand up. Not if you have a longer hilt. Actually, in order to wield something that
big,
like a broadsword. And a broadsword, because I've swung those around, you have to hold it farther down for the balance element of it. You don't hold it up near the hilt. You hold it down towards the end because of the weight.
And when you hold it with two hands instead of just one,
right? You would not be swinging that thing around.
You wouldn't be doing this. You'd be doing this.
Well, you got to remember too. This is a lightsaber. It's not a broadsword or a claymore or anything.
Right. This is true.
But yes, it does have. Less. But it does have the principles of
a claymore. Right.
Yeah, I just wonder: are we going to see a new style of fighting with this, or are we going to still see some of the spin the sword?
Well, I can almost guarantee you already they have. Disney has alluded that you're not going to see the Eastern style of fighting, which we have seen in all the prequel movies. You're going to see Western style. So now we're talking about English sword fighting, French sword fighting, more like what you're seeing in Game of Thrones right now, I think is what you're really going to see. So you're seeing more of that double-handed claymore style, parry guard kind of things. It's going to be strategic placement of the lightsaber and not how quick can you move around.
Right.
Which is going to get interesting because that's a different style
which
that
could lead,
Star Wars fans aren't used to.
What if there's a scene where Skywalker goes against this guy trying
the old style and gets his
and he finds
something
something he loses another hand.
Yeah, right. Or a head.
I foresee intense pain coming from this.
So, I mean, I liked that lightsaber. I didn't think it was a bad thing. And then, of course, the last shot, I think, that's the one that got my whole family cheering.
Everybody.
The Millennium Falcon showed up with the two TIE fighters, and that was it. My whole house erupted.
Well, because the music erupted.
Music kicked in. All right, here's one for all you people out there who are musicians. That if you have the distinct ear to hear it, if you crank your volume, and I mean, you have to have it up pretty loud, it'll distort everything, I promise it will. But as they're playing the end of the music, if you listen very carefully and a very slow, it's almost halftime. They have the Darth Vader theme playing in the background, just da 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 da, and that's it. They do it once.
I think they did it. So didn't they do it in another movie? I think they did in like episode 3.
Maybe they did.
They carried the themes over a little bit.
Yeah, when Anakin got mad and when he realized he killed the camp of Tuscans, they did that. But this is like a little more ominous sounding, and it's definitely deeper and lower, so you can barely hear it. But if you crank your bass up, you can kind of hear it. I thought it was kind of cool, like a nice little homage. Throw that in there, I know it got a lot of people upset because it was mentioned on Facebook, and somebody said, "Well, that means Darth Vader's in it." I'm like, no. Bring in the Darth Vader theme back. You know what I mean?
It's the Imperial March.
Right.
There's no guarantee that Vader's back. Vader died.
Right.
So that means Emperor now is.
Not that, but they've been using it for every Sith.
Every Sith that's been around since that point. Right. How about the Stormtroopers? Because we got a chance to see them. What do you guys think? I mean, we're assuming they're Stormtroopers.
It was just a quick shot. I mean, very cut up, kind of a rapid fire editing there, which I think, and I'd mentioned this to you guys before we went on podcasting, that I thought, I'm hoping at least that the scene isn't edited that way and it doesn't have that kind of staccato jump cut effect to it, which to me is too modern for a Star Wars movie. I think they were just doing it to try and...
You don't want flash bulbs everywhere.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't. I don't want lens flares, even though people found one lens flare when the Millennium Falcon's doing its flip. There's a flare. I'm like, yeah, of course, it's going into the sun.
Yeah.
But I think they just did it to kind of obscure what you were seeing and keep it more of a teaser. But what I did see was cool, and I did like the light-up guns. I thought that was neat that they had the rifle.
The LED on the actual rifle.
I thought that was really cool.
Which somebody in the 501st right now is trying to figure out how to make that happen.
I was going to say, every Stormtrooper is now trying to figure out, how do I do that?
Yeah, how do I light up my gun?
I'm not quite sold on them yet.
Okay.
Of course, I haven't seen them real good.
Like in full armor and everything.
Like what Eric's saying, but white guns, I like that idea.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
I'm waiting to see if they can hit something. That would be the best way to start off with them. Is you see like sharps shooting a bunch of people out of, and you're just like, oh, these guys.
They mean business now.
The Empire's PO that they got freaking handed with the Death Star.
I mean, that's been
they got the ass handed by Ewoks.
We need to start training these guys to shoot.
Actually, they should start the movie with them going back to that village and wiping it out.
That'd be awesome.
Just all of them.
I wonder if we'll see a return to Endor at some point in the new trilogy.
In the bronze
Now we can shoot. Now you die. You want to throw a rock? Take that.
And the broadsword Jedi just comes out, or the broadsword Sith comes out of nowhere and goes, die.
I mean, I can see something where they're like flying through the system and they fly over the planet, and the planet is just looks like Mustafar from above. It's a burned
decimated.
Basically, just say it was a scorched planet policy, and you just took it out.
So, I mean, that's the huge news. I mean, that I can't even begin to explain to people.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen.
To us.
We've already seen. I mean, it came out. Well, now a week ago. It's where I'm realizing how much time has passed. But even a couple days after it, like a day or two after it came out, we had memes about the sword. We had Lego versions filmed and recorded online.
We just watched the special edition.
We had the special edition version of it, which is
if you haven't seen it, go YouTube it because it's hysterical. I think my favorite part of that whole special edition version. And I didn't catch it the first time. Is all the ships flying around in the background on Tatooine, just randomly flying by.
It looks like the skies over Coruscant.
I think your favorite part, Gary, is the Jabba the Hutt, right? Or Jabba the Hutt
standing there. The footsicle, yep.
And the footsicle, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just this little release of just clips has got everyone going crazy. Imagine what's gonna happen in the next year.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's
gonna get huge.
I'm excited now. I was kind of excited before. I am excited now. Now we know the title. Now we know parts of the movie. We've seen it. Now we know it's actually happening. You know what I mean? I guess that's the part that sent chills up over my neck was like, now I know it's happening. It's not. This isn't a lie. Disney's not screwing around with our heads. Like, oh, we didn't produce it. Oh, fool. Like Mickey Mouse going, oh, like this is the real deal. It's actually happening, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm pumped. I can't wait to see what they do with this. I mean, there's so many options. Now, I will tell you guys something. I have secret information, but I can't reveal it yet. I have information, and I will be revealing it as I'm allotted to reveal it. I will tell you all that. And here's what I will tell you. I know for a fact that in about a month, a lot of information is going to come out.
Really? Okay.
Because the set contractors their contracts run out at the end of January. So in about a little over
about a month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah, about a month and a half away. I think suddenly we're going to start hearing what the movie's about, who this particular characters are, who they're related to, what the relationship of the characters are going to be to each other. So all that stuff probably by end of January, beginning of February is going to start. I don't want to say getting leaked. Maybe we will leak it. But it'll go out there. I have some info for you all.
And you're going to know that Yoda dies.
Oh, yes. You're ruining it.
You'd have tried in episode 6. Seriously, keep up with the program.
I really want to avoid as much as possible, though.
I know you're trying to avoid all the spoilers, and that's.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard, especially if I get to go to Celebration 7. I mean, there's going to be a lot there, and it's like, what do I do? Not look at it.
Right. Eric's walking around going, la 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 la.
What if his PC does out there? If he does get to go out there and all that, there's a big reveal of what.
Well, I'll take that. I will do that. I will do in a heartbeat. If I get to do,
I have major Sith is. Yeah.
If I go, I have a feeling it would be. I mean, they've had me do 2 pieces for Clone Wars.
Right.
So I would assume if they have me back, it'll be for Rebels.
Yeah.
But
it would be awesome
if anyone from listening, I really would love the opportunity to do something cool for episode 7.
Yeah.
But I know I don't have the say. I'm just
you have
put it out there
no
to the
power here.
I wish I had the Jedi mind.
Jedi.
Just you will let me do something for episode 7, but that doesn't work.
You let me do.
They're all Troydarian. So.
Yeah. You let me have creativity.
It doesn't work on me.
Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing?
Go to the Rebels.
Why would you leave something beautiful hanging here?
That's the best one I like.
It's like one of the best lines.
It's so bright.
It's so beautiful. So definitely, I mean, like I said, it was an amazing trailer when you look at it and you look at the fact that it was released. It is officially now, I think, the 3rd most watched YouTube video ever.
That fast.
Just with, I mean, and that's within 2 weeks. So what's it going to be like 3-4 weeks from now? I think it'll probably be number 1 for sure.
No, I don't think so.
You really don't think so?
Sai's got that covered.
Yeah, maybe.
He is up. What is it? Over a billion, couple billion?
Yeah, they crashed the counter.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, for Gangnam Style, you're talking. Yeah, that one was like unbelievable. Yeah, they don't know if they have an accurate count on that one. That's the really stupid thing about Gangnam Styles.
I'm just happy that some of my videos are like 70,000. These guys are like, it'll be a billion.
Yeah, 16 billion strong. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, they're like, what? And that's kind of weak. We're working on more. I'm like, what? So then Eric, as we were talking earlier tonight, that there's rumors that the full-size trailer for Star Wars will be with what movie?
And this could be being just
totally
thrown
makes
out.
Sense, though.
This is just probably being thrown out by fans. I didn't really vet this. I just read it and thought, makes sense, because it is another Disney release. Avengers Age of Ultron is when I hear we'll see the full trailer.
Yeah, and
it'll be attached to that.
Totally
and
makes sense.
I mean, they're going to have the biggest movie-going audience of next summer sitting in seats, already primed and excited. Why not give them a cool teaser beforehand?
Has it ever scared you guys the fact that Disney now has probably the two biggest franchises
I was thinking about it.
History?
It's like amazing, and the thing is, they're doing it right.
Right, they're doing an amazing job.
They're being good with it. People complain all the time. Oh, I can't wait to see Mickey in my Star Wars. I can't wait to see until the Avengers or suddenly fighting Tinkerbell. Have you watched what they're doing?
Right.
They're letting these things be their own franchises, not crossing the streams.
Right.
And, and they're
what are you gonna do?
They're just letting it be good. They're kind of taking a hands-off approach. As far as you can see in front of the scenes, behind the scenes, who knows? But
of course, now I'm picturing a Twinkie the size of Goofy. Like what's gonna happen? A Twinkie the size of Goofy.
That's another thing. And this is not a podcast. Those of you out there who have seen the most recent epic rap battles of history. It's the Ghostbusters versus the Mythbusters. It's incredible. Go see it. Just watch it. You'll thank me later.
Well, and another thing we just watched tonight, which thanks to Eric, we got a chance to watch it.
I catch a lot of these things.
I don't have enough time on YouTube. Actually, I just don't have time on the internet, period.
That's been pretty much everyone in this family. We're
I got plenty of time. I just can't get on.
You can't get on now, yeah. Yeah, Gary decided to fix his own computer. Gary's dad tried to fix the computer, and yes, the computer won. Anyway.
I told him it's not broken, don't fix it.
Exactly. Well, yeah, he broke it now. So anyway, you had us watch Batman versus Darth Vader.
Yep, the team that does epic superpowered beatdown or something videos. They've got a whole bunch of them. This I thought that I've seen a couple burn up. They've been they're good, and some of the production values were a little less than others. I watched this one. It was top notch all the way through.
I was going to say, pretty good production value, actually.
The Vader voice is dead on.
Yeah.
The characterizations
are
good.
The costumes actually really good, too.
Except for the one overweight guy in the Death
Star. We had a Death Star trooper. It was my size, yeah.
But I was waiting for Dad to go, hey, look, maybe I should make that costume.
He was bigger than you, that's all.
He was.
But it was...
I was jealous, that's what it was.
That's another video that if you are a fan of all things Star Wars and Batman, go watch it, look it up on YouTube.
And we won't tell you who wins.
Yeah, it's well done.
It's an epic battle, I will say that.
Very well done.
Yes. So that was exciting. That was a pretty cool thing. So thank you, Eric, for bringing that to our
I'll keep finding what I can.
Lots of explosions. That's about it.
Should we mention briefly? It's been trailer season here in the past week.
Well, it has been, and then I know
it's not Star Wars related, but
and I haven't watched it yet, so we'll have to watch it later. But the Genesis
Terminator Genesis trailer came out. I watched it. Won't give anything away. It's got potential. It's not come back from. There's a lot of people who are terrified that this movie is just going to bomb. The word of mouth is bad. All the press releases they've done on it, people have torn apart the pictures and everything.
Actually, one thing I know that people are really upset about is the fact that Schwarzenegger's coming back, and I'm like, really? Because
he's the franchise.
He's the franchise. How could you not want him back? You know,
he's old. He's in it pretty well.
He was old in the other ones.
and I'll definitely tell you they're doing something cool. They're doing something interesting with it, which you get from watching the trailer. And I thought it was okay. It ends on a great shot.
Okay.
So, but it was pretty good. But the trailer that we also saw this week was Jurassic World.
Jurassic World. Yeah.
With Chris Pratt, the Star-Lord.
With Chris Pratt, who's Star-Lord, which I think to an extent it's a problem for Jurassic World that Chris Pratt is now the lead actor, and I know that they chose him as the lead actor long before
the movie came out,
Guardians of the Galaxy came out. But the problem now is I think he's so tied to that character that it's going to be hard for me to look at him and not see Star-Lord.
Yeah.
But
they definitely didn't give him any humor. Really, he plays very straight video, and that's a smart way to go because it's keeping it. It's not.
At least it's a 180 from his character from Guardians. At least I can delineate between the two. Some things that trailer I liked, and some of it was like, why?
Well, it's people running again from dinosaurs that are escaping. You know.
I mean, I like they're changing the park a little bit. It's modernized. There's more technology.
I love that there's people. It's clearly like almost a shot at Disney. There's people running down a street that looks like the Avenue of the Americas.
I totally agree with you.
Like, it looked like people running away,
just
Disney.
like Epcot, man. It was seriously, like it was like wow, like they couldn't have ripped Disney off anymore if they'd have just done it right then and there.
Yeah.
The roller balls that they get to go
neat.
around the park, and
that's a neat idea. Cool. Yeah, the little spheres, those were cool.
But we still have the Velociraptors testing the fences.
See, I don't know if it was the Velociraptor.
I don't know.
It's the new dinosaur.
Whatever it is.
And that's your problem with it.
Yeah, it's the hybrid.
And that's your problem, Gary. You take it. Go ahead and explain your issue, because I agree with your issue.
Well, they took the T-Rex and they took a raptor and they spiced them together.
Right. And why?
Oh boy!
Don't they mention they even used some human DNA or something like that?
About they added the intelligence DNA from humans or something. It's like, why do we need to play with the dinosaur gene pool? We can't play enough with the human.
I hope they have a good reason for it. Like we were looking for cures to diseases, and by putting in a little human DNA in there, we can get. I don't know.
The bottom line is man's got to play God.
It's been a common theme in that show, but. I mean, Jeff Goldblum put it the best,
Yeah. Chaos theory, yep.
But
the chaos theory, yeah.
His whole line of, you did it because you could. You never stop to think if you should.
Right. See, my favorite line from the first one was that nature will always find a way.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely right. I mean, like you put all females out there. Well, don't worry, some of them will be males because nature will find a way.
Yep.
And they did. It's like I totally agree with him. Nature finds a way to break these barriers. I mean, it absolutely. Other things you could have played on for Jurassic World, and you had to create a super hybrid
whatever. Yeah, and so by the end, it wasn't winning me over. I was getting there. I'm like, it's okay. And then they throw that last shot in, and to me, that was quite a turn to all of a sudden see pens open up and velociraptors come running out, and there's Chris Pratt riding a motorcycle through the jungle with a bunch of velociraptors running beside him, and they're like trained attack dogs. Right. They're hunting with him.
They're not attacking him. They're hunting with him.
And I thought, that opens up some possibilities that they could do some. I don't know. I'm interested.
Train dinosaurs.
Yeah, interested to seeing. And don't go too far. I don't want to see a guy riding a saddle on a T-Rex, but it's just the fact that they're used like trained attack dogs.
Toys when I was younger, where they had guys riding on dinosaurs. Dino Riders, with the lasers and everything on them.
I hope they don't go that route.
I want dinosaurs with freaking lasers.
I'm waiting to see a T-Rex with two like Gatling guns inside.
Actually, he's just holding two magnums going.
Well, he's trying to hold them. They're like this. And they're like, we didn't think this through.
You're shamed.
I want to see the dinosaurs. Is what I want to see.
Dinosaurs. Okay.
Where they're really intelligent.
Okay, so that's what we thought about the trailers. The
trailers
this week
and everything in general, with a little Ghostbusters and Terminator thrown in.
Hey, we do a little bit of everything here at the Star.
Stay on topic.
So it doesn't really work.
We'd love to hear what you think about those trailers. Head on over
especially
to
Star Wars. What do you think of the cross-bladed lightsaber?
Yeah, and what do you think of the ball droid? I don't know what to call it anymore.
Call it ball droid.
Droid with balls. I don't know.
Soccer droid.
Soccer droid. Yeah.
The FIFA droid.
FIFA droid. There we go. Oh, great. Now there's going to be FIFA stickers on.
Oh, they've already done that.
So
it's on the back.
They even put the gerbil inside.
I like that.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, now we need to cross the new line.
This is a different age from the Star Wars I grew up in.
And Dad's now getting hate mail.
So head on over to our website, GalaxyCast.com, and let us know what you think of those trailers. And we'll be back in a moment.
Squeak.
Squeak.
The hamster.
Yeah, I knew what you were doing. Squeak. All right, and now I got to watch that Genesis trailer. Hang on.
Oh, let's
I know video people, you're going to have to wait.
Let's watch
you can wait.
What's that?
Let's watch them both. Jurassic World.
Oh, you haven't seen the Jurassic World one?
I have, but let's watch it again anyway.
That's right. People at home or watching on the video, you get a chance to see us watch the Terminator Genesis movie trailer. So if you haven't seen it yet, you might be able to zoom in on Eric's camera here.
Leaked test footage of Ant-Man?
Yeah, there's no way to.
Oh, I've seen it. No, there's one that's out, and it's the stuff they showed a couple summers ago at
Comic-Con, right?
Yeah, if it's the one no, that's the trailer. Yeah, watch that.
Well, that's why I clicked on it.
Into the cha-cha.
I look at each of you,
Probably going slow because I got a camera on.
and I see the marks of this long
Yeah, you're gonna want to have this actually play. He's ruined it for you.
Yeah, we'll have to watch this when we're not. Okay. We tried, people at home.
Darn you for taking up our Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Dang you for chewing up our bandwidth. No, really, we love you guys. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't be doing this.
Can we watch a Pitch Perfect 2 trailer too?
No.
Mary,
Only if you can do cups.
I watched Pitch Perfect with Mary. It was actually kind of a fun
I like
movie.
Pitch Perfect.
It was a
I
fun
actually
movie.
do. Did I tell you what? Last year at the end of their concert at school, my orchestra, band, chorus, and Smash all did cups as a joint effort. It
So
was
you had
really awesome.
you had Dad hook up mics to the bottom of the tables for
Yeah,
Smash.
Mike hooks, and so we did the cups routine, but with mics hooked up to the bottom of the table.
Oh, so you could hear
And
all
they
the way
had-
through that.
he had
And then
different people doing different
We added
rhythms.
different rhythms in. I added a hemiola in, a 3 against 2 while it was going. It was pretty cool.
Oh,
I'll have to
you
pull
know
up a
what,
video of that sometime for you guys to watch because you'd get a kick out of it.
I don't know if you guys ever got to the EPAC shows.
Oh, yeah.
I went and saw the other last night.
Okay, yeah.
That was well.
EPAC does some really well put together stuff.
I'm tempted. I haven't done theater in a long time, but I'm to go and try
audition
out.
some?
And
Yeah.
I'm looking at all their shows. I'm like, oh, they're too young for me. You know, I couldn't be in any of these. But then,
Yeah, but when
in
you
the
look at
fall?
what they... Yeah.
Sweeney Todd.
Oh, there you go. Sweeney Todd would be cool.
I would like to be in
We're
Sweeney
doing
Todd.
we're doing Music Man in our school, so I just got Mayor Shin.
I could be the Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
Oh, you didn't miss it. Ruth's boyfriend is an EPAC. He
Yes.
used to do EPAC a while.
Oh, yeah. There's
Actually, Matt, I think, still doing EPAC.
I think he still is. We have a kid in our choir who still does it, and he's just a freshman. He's like one of the most.
It's kind of why I still
talented
play with the
EPAC
Binghamton
people.
Community Orchestra. It's just to keep my chops
Yeah.
going. You know what I mean? Actually, that's how I got that Binghamton University gig. Was I was playing with the Binghamton Community Orchestra, and he needed some people to fill in, and so I went and filled it at the university. So,
Well, I haven't done theater in a long time, but I'd love to come back for a show.
if you ever need help,
Well, thanks.
okay.
Dad's
so,
got friends in high places. Just
you guys ready?
everywhere.
I don't have friends in high places. I have friends in mediocre places.
Says the one who has friends on Disney.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't have any friends on the set. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm the one that's got friends in high places.
Yeah, actually, his friends. Well, they're higher places. Corey's above most of my friends. Okay.
Dad's losing.
All right, here we go. You guys ready?
So, what are the two episodes we're talking about? The Old Masters, Now the Darkness?
Yeah, the Old
Breaking
Masters
Ranks?
and Breaking Ranks.
Okay.
Rise of the Old Masters. We'll go Rise of the Old Masters first and then Breaking Ranks.
Okay.
In chronological order here.
Alrighty.
Which the good news is, they're still in chronological order.
All the way through.
I
To
know.
the end, up to the end of the season.
I'm going to give them kudos for that.
Let's just hope. Dan,
I prefer Twix.
Let's try that again.
sorry. Let's just hope Filoni doesn't take over.
Filoni is taking over.
Okay.
Okay. Here. Okay, well, we're back and we are going to discuss the first of 2 episodes that we're going to actually discuss in this particular podcast. We're going to start with the Rise of the Old Masters. Basic gist, we supposedly find out that Jedi Master Luminara Unduli has survived Order 66 and is being held at a Imperial prison. And the Rebel team decides they're going to go in and rescue her on Stygian Prime.
Yes. Because
So-
basically, he thinks that she will be a better teacher for Ezra than he is.
And that is kind of like the backstory behind this episode. Is
Well, the episode starts off with the training.
right,
And he falls off the ship.
right. And oh man, that scene was. Although like it's showing a Jedi being trained, but it's also funny. I thought
I thought that was a well done scene. I like the
Chopper.
idea of where they obviously they could have done this on the ground, but they're doing it way up in the clouds, and I just thought it was a nice setting.
Well, the fact that they did the classic Yoda upside down training, where you're hanging upside down trying to just use one arm like he does in episode 5.
Actually,
Luke.
my favorite part is just the fact that Chopper's chucking things at him. And
Enjoying it.
Yeah, and Harold's Wookiee just dumps the whole bucket.
That's when he starts just like chucking things one after another, and he's like not giving up at that point. I'm like, all right, this is getting funny.
The first 2
Yeah.
he actually hit when he did the box tip over, but after that it was blah, 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 blah. He
And
falls off the ship.
the one thing I thought was kind of funny is as he fell off and he slid down, the look he gives Sabine
Yeah,
before
he's
he
like,
falls
like,
off, like,
"Help me!"
hey, what's up?
Well, first
I'm just hanging around.
and he sees her. Oh, cool.
He tries to look.
All right.
And then he goes, oh crap. Ah!
And any boy who tried to woo women knows exactly what you're talking about. Walking down the hall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally
like-
planned that.
I
Totally
totally
planned
planned that. that. Never tried that before.
Yeah. Or my other favorite, when you trip and you hope nobody saw you. You
trip around.
Like, did anybody see me?
No one saw me. Okay.
I thought that was actually a little humorous. It was great to have some of that humor in there, and it was actually good humor. It fit in.
There's some of the characters I still feel are pretty one-dimensional yet.
Right.
I am liking. Oh God, this is what's bad is I'm bad with the names still, even though we're a couple episodes in. Ezra and the what's his name, the Wookiee guy.
Zeb.
Yeah.
I know he's not a Wookiee, but I know he's the original design of a Wookiee. So him and Zeb seem to be getting a pretty decent relationship where I know they've become friends, but he's still antagonizing each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm liking Chopper a little more. He's fun.
He's the opposite of our.
It's the two. Like,
they've hashed them out a lot for us yet to come down the line. Hera and Sabine, I think, are just still kind of.
Hera feels. She's just a pilot, and I want to know more about her. I
like that mystery right now, though, a little bit, like almost Boba Fett-esque kind of mystery about her.
Well, yeah, she's the actual leader of the group.
Yeah, I get that.
Right, like she lets Kanan think, and ultimately she knows she's calling the shots.
Kanan.
Sorry.
Whatever.
And
they all.
I kind of look at it like a marriage between her.
Well, are they in a relationship?
Are we done arguing?
No. Is Kanan in a relationship?
No, but I get don't you get the impression like they're married or something?
Yeah,
totally.
I thought
she's the wife.
Up to this point, I really thought they were almost in a relationship.
Yeah, like he's calling the shots, but really behind the scenes, she's really calling the shots and just making him feel like
she's playing puppet master from above and he doesn't know.
So they decide to go into
Stygian
Prime, and
which I swear I know that name from another sci-fi something.
It sounds like something that was
the Stygian Mists. What is the Stygian? Why is this?
I'm not sure why.
Help me out.
Inhumans.
It is the Stygian Mists are what make. Make Inhumans. So I knew I'd heard that name before.
Well, they can borrow that. They own Marvel.
Yes. I wonder if that's a little crossover.
Maybe that's a little. There's one.
I wonder if they're doing
the one little crossover reference right there. So they decided to go and basically invade this place. Now, the invasion itself is actually kind of funny to.
He gets to use some pretty cool force powers.
Yeah,
awesome.
He jumps down onto these stormtroopers. He takes a whole group of them and basically force throws them over the edge.
Except the first thing he does, the two come out and he just yanks their guns, catches them, and just tosses them over his shoulder.
I thought that was awesome.
What he does is he disarms them and then he just starts doing like weird karate.
Yeah,
knocks him over.
The second set was the ones where he grabbed the guns because they came out of the door.
And
just as they got out of the door, he grabbed them. But that was after Ezra jumped down
and banged
on the door, which was wow. And he's like, "Man, I hope every stormtrooper in the base doesn't know we're here." Yeah.
They already knew.
It was like a big gong, like how could they not know they were there? He killed. I mean, he must have killed what? 10?
Well, they all did.
10 stormtroopers.
Zeb threw some over the edge.
Look at her. Threw him over his head.
I liked about this whole episode is the fact that they didn't
hold
punches at all.
Yeah, they actually killed some stormtroopers this time. Which now it actually felt a little more realistic, even though the stormtroopers are kind of dumb. But it felt
hit anything.
Well, they can't. But the fact that they killed some now, and now getting their butts handed to them, now it makes it more believable. Now they're not being nice, just throwing little punches here and there. Now they're actually taking weapons, killing them,
or
doing
painting
stuff
on their ships.
Right.
I mean, she's gonna do more of that. I know that's her character trait, but
it was a little kiddish seeing that that little short that we saw. So it is interesting that in the process of all this, that where they're trying to train Ezra too in the middle of all. So somehow Ezra is like getting the idea that Kanan doesn't want to train him.
Right.
The people know that he feels like he doesn't want to.
But he doesn't belong.
He doesn't belong. Yeah, I guess that's the best way, and I think that's important because that's gonna, I think, come in later too.
Yeah.
So they go into the facility. Of course, using this turbo lift. Of course, I have to dispatch more stormtroopers there. They get into the cell block, and there's Luminara. But as Kanan goes to approach her, she gets up, walks over, and gets into like a sarcophagus, I guess is whatever it is, and disappears. Now, Gary, you had said you felt like it was like a. What did you think it was? You had explained it to me because I had misconstrued the whole scenario.
Well, you thought she was in carbonite.
Yeah, I did.
But Bob, she's.
I don't know. I just thought she was in carbonite. You know.
She's dead and turned into a mummy or decaying.
So we were basically seeing her Force ghost.
No, it's not really a Force ghost because the Force is still strong in those bones. And the Inquisitor is using that Force to summon other Jedi to come.
Oh, basically she was bait.
Yes.
Which I assumed she was bait, but I didn't think it was the Inquisitor.
I wondered if maybe she was a hologram.
Nope.
You think she was?
Well, he said he felt. He said he felt her.
He feels her Force in her remains.
And here's the thing: if it was a hologram, why need the bones? Well, okay, now, yeah. Why would the hologram walk in to the bones? Why not just turn it off? So it definitely was associated with her.
Yeah,
right. I think it's one of the powers that the Inquisitor has is to
be able to raise the dead.
Well, no, not really raise
the
dead,
Force from the dead. Yeah.
He basically pulled some of her essence out so that others would sense it and come to her.
Okay, if we go back to Darth Plagueis,
right?
He has the ability to pull the Force life out of dead things.
Okay, there you go. So that's basically what he was doing.
I'm telling you, man, that book will explain so much stuff.
I'm working on it.
Once you read that book, it's kind of like you get light bulb click. Everything starts to make so much more sense.
So the Inquisitor shows up.
Inquisitor shows up. Lightsaber battle ensues, of course.
And the Inquisitor, it's very quickly clear that the Inquisitor outmans
them. Yeah.
And anyways,
what I liked was the Inquisitor knew who trained.
Oh, could tell.
He knew Depa Billaba had trained him because he used Style 3 for close quarter combat.
Right. But he also said, which blew out the whole theory about the Jedi archives are still there and all that.
Yeah.
Because he goes, the Jedi's archives are correct on you. That you use Style 3 and Depa, whatever her name is.
He basically
trained them and all that.
Yeah.
I basically get from him that he memorized all the archives.
I mean, it could be. I don't know if they still have access to it, or is it just something he just...
Well, something tells me that by this point, I think the Empire has accessed
everything.
The archives. Yeah.
They have the entire...
Doesn't Vader even almost allude to that? Something about he alludes to something about everything the Jedi once knew we now know too, or something along that lines when he's talking to Luke.
That sounds like a line
on Endor.
Well, it may be true, but at the same time,
this is true. But
he was in the archives.
It would actually make sense and kind of be cool if they had access to the actual Jedi archives, like they had saved them and they have.
They'd
use them against them. It would change a lot of things there.
It's obvious now that is the case.
Yeah, I mean they're trying to make that a pretty obvious case. That lightsaber battle was kind of interesting because there's all sorts of stuff going on. Well, first off, we noticed that the lightsabers are like
pencil thin. They're wicked
amazingly thin, and just they didn't look realistic in that regard.
The lightsabers just got weak.
And then at the flip side of that, I mean, look at all the things that the Inquisitor can do with his lightsaber.
Yeah, he's got the one blade. Got the double blade. It spins.
Right. The one blade looks almost like a fencing, and then he's got where he can open it up and have two blades on it, and then he can hold the center and the outside spins while the blades are connected to it.
I feel like that's an attempt to try to do the Grievous thing where he runs up.
Well, it is a version. Actually, the Grievous toy.
Has that particular style.
Yeah, and I think it was the impetus for the Inquisitor's lightsaber.
I have to see it more in action. I still don't know if I like it. It was interesting, but I don't know if I'm like.
It doesn't do that all the time. Like
I mean, it doesn't have the impact of a lightsaber with a hilt,
right?
For example.
Yeah,
but it could be cool. I got to see it more.
The one thing I liked he did with that lightsaber that was cool was that boomerang effect.
Yeah,
he picked it up and threw it. And I was like, that's kind of cool actually to be able to throw the lightsaber with both blades going. And
I would have loved to see him run up and I got it.
Get his head cut off or something. Yeah.
What
would have been, and here's again a simple way I think they could have made that scene cooler is all the people from Rebels, the people from the ship are escaping, running underneath the TIE fighters, and they're getting right to the ship. What if he had thrown that and it literally cut through at least one of the TIE fighters to get to him, and you just saw that thing take one right in half.
Yeah,
I thought that would have been really.
Yeah, that would have added a little something.
Yeah, because this is my problem with this. I still am not threatened by him, and maybe it's his demeanor. He's a cross between one of the ship's captains. He has that kind of regal British feel to him, and even in the way he talks.
Good thing he's not here.
And then, yeah, that's stupid British. Think they own America? No, I'm kidding. But no, he has that. I mean, I'm talking the actors because they had all the British actors
I know
play
what
him.
you're saying.
He's got that kind of regal feel, but he's got this alien. He looks like one of the banking clan.
Well, ready
Or
for this?
yeah,
I
banking-
did some research on him.
Not the banking clan. The people
Utapauans.
from Utapauans. Is he?
He is an Utapauan.
I thought he might
I
be.
did some research this week, and because they didn't
Oh, the
release
weird
a lot
guys
of
on
information.
Yupon.
So he's a vampire spider.
Pretty much.
He's
yeah.
got the teeth and everything. So I was like, and the lines. I'm like, he has to.
And
be.
it hit me because I was watching this past week on the episode. I was like, that looks like an Utapau, and I looked. Wikipedia confirmed that yes, he is from Utapau. He's supposed to be an Utapauan. He's one of the higher families that had a son who decided he was going to leave and join the Separatists. And then when everything went down, he decided to join the Empire.
I hope they get more into his backstory.
I
Because
think
right now,
they're gonna at some point.
I don't feel it yet, but you know,
I agree with you. It just doesn't seem. He doesn't seem ominous. Although the Darth Vader
It's his
scene
voice.
adds to it. I agree with you. It needs to be darker. or
he's
something.
not. Yeah, he talks too perfect. You know, too.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. Just I need.
It's kind of
something
like
to-
you know. I always wondered how our colonials felt when the British were fighting us. You know, because they're always so prim and proper when they would yell at us. You know, like they'd call us gits and stuff like that. You know, you
Well,
American
cheeky
git. You know,
fellow.
you cheeky fellow. You know, it's like
Straight out of the Patriot.
as much as you know we are who we are, it just seems so prim and proper to be like that. You know what I mean? Just right. It does feel a little odd. But I thought that whole scene with Inquisitor was kind of interesting. That lightsaber battle, and of course, the rebels decide to just retreat immediately.
I do love the lines that Ezra says, where he's like, "Can your lightsaber do that?"
Yeah. Can you do that?
Then the same thing.
Right, yeah.
Flying away.
Yeah, because they're flying away. The other kind of backstory or side story that was going on was kind of funny was Hera decides to park the ship and wait for them. And her beacon that's making her
The beams.
Blocking.
blocking
Yeah.
signal apparently is a
Mating
mating call for a local animal, which I thought actually was kind of a way to handle that situation to get the ship out of there.
I'm trying to think of the animal. It was in the Rookies episode of Clone Wars.
It kind of looks like the animal.
It kind of looks like those animals with wings.
Yeah.
It's the moth version of those weird worms.
Yep. But actually, they use them to their advantage at the end, which I thought was also kind of cool.
Yeah.
And they wipe out a whole bunch of TIE pilots, and they drive away. Now, the ending scene I thought was actually kind of touching, which I thought said something about Rebels.
Which scene?
The scene where Kanan and
They
sit
land back
down,
on the planet. Yeah.
and they're talking about the fact that Ezra feels like he's been abandoned by him, and that why won't you teach me? Why?
But yeah, he's so eager to get rid of me. Try to find
it
another
seems like
teacher.
all you want to do is find a teacher. Why don't you just teach me? And actually, I thought that was kind of touching. The fact that we had a scene where like the Padawan's basically begging the master, just teach me. You know, and so finally he decides, well, I'm not going to try. I'm going to do it.
I'm gonna teach.
And that was kind of a reference to the whole do or do not. There is no
You
try.
may fail. I may fail. But we're
gonna
not
fail
try.
together.
But
Yeah.
We're not going to try.
We're not going to try.
And you point out
Yeah.
the last scene is basically like a father-son baseball.
Oh, they're baseball.
yeah.
You know, he's throwing things at him, he's swinging the bat. You know.
Yeah, home run. So that was our first episode. So if you guys are going to rate that episode, so we're talking about Rise of the Old Masters, 0 being a don't bother, 10 being a must see. What do you guys think you would rate it? I'll start with you, Eric. What would you think?
I'm gonna give that like a solid 7.
Okay.
You know, it was better than some of the previous ones, and that stuff actually happened. There was a lot to it in terms of the training and the backstory of them and begin, you know, and it gave us some Inquisitor finally.
Yeah.
I still have a problem with their blocking and then their choreography in that, you know, a door opens and they're about to go on a landing platform. There's 20 stormtroopers. They're firing at them and they're in a loading bay with nothing around them, and they don't even run. They just kind of say, "Oh well, let's throw our last miracle," you know, and they throw a bomb out there. And it's like, and then the stormtroopers look down at it and blow up. It's like I need them to. People just duck behind things and shoot?
Yeah.
I'm not asking for a lot, but just give me a little more realism to the fights.
Or attempt to do those things.
But I liked the story. I liked the successful episode.
They're making him look like battle droids from episode 3.
And to an extent, they are.
Yeah.
What's this?
Okay, so Numpty, what would you rate this one?
I had to stick with Eric, a 7. I would personally love to see the Inquisitor throw this lightsaber as if it was Captain America's shield and have it spin this way instead of this way.
Okay, so instead of horizontally, vertically.
And spin right through like 4 TIE fighters and then hit the ship and have the ship crash.
Okay.
That would be fun. That would be fun to see, and then they're all like
Or at least
scrambling.
maybe damage goes to the point that they have to like limp away to a moon or something.
Something to give them more
prepare
power.
themselves. Yeah. Okay. Gary, what would you rate this episode?
A 6.
A 6?
It's pretty high for you.
That is high for Gary. I didn't think it was awesome.
Or 3.
Deaths.
Woohoo!
All right.
Some stormtroopers actually died.
Starting to see some people get killed.
Yay!
And
Gary's
then
got to start.
it's not a dumb
Right.
situation, except until they throw the bomb out and they look
Yeah,
at
and
it.
they look at it and watch it.
You know, stormtroopers still can't hit a broadside of a barn, even when there's dead bodies in the
Yeah.
storm
Oh,
barn.
yeah.
Yeah. Why they shot into it.
And then they look at the bomb, and then it's a net.
Yeah.
So it's like the using the dead Jedi as bait was pretty cool.
Okay.
Seeing the Inquisitor actually do something.
Inquisit.
Yeah.
Inquisit.
Instead of just being eye candy for the whatever.
All the girls.
Yeah.
That's what the Sith get. They don't have cookies. They have women.
And it wasn't sunshiny outside, so we don't know if he was sparkly or not.
This is
Well, I hear that the people at Utapau, they get all the chicks. So sharpened teeth.
I was going to say it's the corduroy face, but
See him every morning going, "Can I make this?"
Well, you just rub his head and you can light the light bulb.
I really got to understand. When they kiss, does it really sound like corduroys going? You know?
I don't know. I wonder if they're like, if it's where they keep change. They just put quarters and stuff in the lines. And they're like, oh, I need some change.
All right, let me rate this one real quick before we go to the second one. So this one, I actually was going to give an 8. I liked this episode. It was a good mix of humor and some action and actually some touching moments at the end. This particular episode gave me some hope for this show, where we were kind of like upset with the first couple of episodes and we're kind of like, what is going on? This one I kind of felt like, okay, now we're moving in a direction. We've got a plan here. We seem to be focused and moving in a direction. I'm not sure what happened in those first 3 episodes, whether they just lost a course or they just didn't have an end point. Now I kind of feel like we're placing little Easter eggs here and there to keep moving toward an end point somewhere. So I felt like there was at least a stronger storyline to this one. I liked the humor. I like the fact that the characters, you're really starting to feel the characters now. Chopper, I love Chopper. I don't know why. His humor just gets to me.
So how long is it till we have a built remote control chopper at one of the shows that
No,
spins and the arms come out?
I would love it.
It's
but,
going to already have
it's
one.
not
There's an
gonna be
R2D2
I
maker.
need a couple. Oh man, yeah, I need like a couple of $1,000. Yeah, he's talking
Someone's
about
doing it. Someone's
You
doing
know
There's
it.
an
someone's doing it
R2D2 maker
somewhere.
that I believe has already made one. It's appeared in a Star Wars Insider. Also, another point.
Yeah, you're right. There was one in an Insider, but I don't think that's a fully functioning one yet. That is just a prop. So
You had mentioned something about how you didn't know much about pilot and Hera and Sabine.
Yeah.
Next week episode is just those 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
just relax
So it's-
about it.
yeah.
I didn't know if that would help.
So we'll get there.
That's a spoiler.
Yeah, that's a spoiler.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Even though it's already been out for a while.
We're behind.
Everyone
Sorry.
listening to this has seen it.
Right. So the next episode, Breaking Ranks. Long story short, Ezra decides to go and I guess he's gone undercover or rogue. I guess is the best way to explain
Ezra
it.
didn't do it for himself.
Well, they
Canon,
Canon.
whatever you want to call him.
Let's call him canon because he's officially in the Star Wars.
Oh, hey, there
That's
we
what I was
go.
calling him earlier. So he sends Ezra undercover to go get.
Kyber crystals plus.
Basically, to retrieve a 3.5 floppy disk.
Right.
That's what it kind of looked like, didn't it?
That told the coordinates of where the.
I need my Windows
Where the
boot disk.
Kyber crystals
Kyber
are.
crystals
Yeah.
would be, right.
It didn't
So-
have a hole, so it's
Goes through this whole like training process, and we get to see the well, and
that
go
bugged
through
me.
that whole scene. And
I mean, just to put it out there, I have trouble believing that the entire training for, new recruits to the stormtroopers is climb out of a hole 3 times.
Okay, you missed the overall thing then. They're seeing which ones might have the Force abilities.
Which
Yeah,
I
see,
get, but it's like you'd
that's
think
the way
they'd
I
have
kinda got out of that, too.
you think they would have, and I got that because the Inquisitor was waiting for him and stuff. But you think they would have more than one test that they just repeat at different levels of,
Well, this may explain why stormtroopers they're not even using.
the last one they did. They didn't.
Yeah, the very last-
But it's like to have seen or Force. I don't know. Maybe they would have had some other options. It just felt like it was repetitive. It's like, oh, they're climbing out again. Oh, they're doing it again. It's like I'd like to see something different.
You know what it seemed like a really bad mix of? It seemed like that Rookies episode where they were doing the training on the clones.
Yeah, and
A
then
mixture of that and the box
and the
episode.
Bounty Hunter one. Yep.
Right? Like, it was kind of like they couldn't come up with any better
Ooh.
ideas. So, like, let's mix these two ideas together, and that'll be our training for the. It was like, I don't know.
But we're just checking to see who's
Really a force?
Now
Yeah.
it does flash back to the Sith episode where Asajj Ventress is training the couple to become the guy who eventually becomes Darth Maul, and they do a whole thing where they're going through
Savage.
Savage. They're climbing and there's
there's
moving blocks
boxes
and boxes.
moving,
So I
yeah.
wonder if that's just a kind of trend with tests for Force.
this, yeah.
Is it tests,
Your ability
ability,
to be able to
accuracy,
move.
presense.
Well,
all that.
I think the pre-sense is the big thing, because if you remember, that was one of the things that one of the officers had said is he seems to know what's going on before it happens.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the other.
And one of the
cadets
recruits said it.
right.
Yeah.
said it.
So
Yeah.
it-
He
But
said,
if
"Oh,
you
it's
know
intuition."
It's as if you know when one of the platforms going to move.
Yeah.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Which, like I said, I get the whole point of it. It just felt repetitive to do it several times. I felt like they could
I
have
agree.
mixed it up a bit.
Yeah, they could have done that, and then maybe like a shooting range, I don't
Or-
know,
or-
something along that line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause you
Or
can
they
still
try
tell.
to escape the box with guns peering out, and they'd be shooting, and you have to dodge the guns and
I mean,
get
there's
out.
that. I mean, I could have seen them on a shooting range where you still can test presense by something pops up behind them and they sense it and they turn and they shoot it. And I mean, they could have done it a couple different ways.
What they should have done is done a whole Full Metal Jacket homage to it. That would have been better.
This is
I have
my
not.
lightsaber.
I don't
This
know
is
what
my
you're talking
gun.
about. I don't think I've seen that.
This is my blaster. There is no other blaster like it in the world.
I was thinking, this is my blaster. This is my
Yeah,
lightsaber.
that too. Yeah.
One is for fun, and one is not for the other.
I'm missing something.
You are. You're good.
This is probably a movie I will not watch. Till
So in the
23.
process of all this training, Ezra runs into Jai, who's apparently looking for his lost sister Dara. They told her that she went missing, right? I think that was what he tells
and he's
us.
Yeah,
like,
he
she didn't
says-
go missing.
No. You
no.
got the characters wrong. It's Zer Leonidas is the one looking for his sister.
Zare line.
Yeah,
Okay,
Zer
that's right. Jai's the
Leonidas.
one that keeps competing with him, and is almost. That's right.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Zare is looking for his sister. So they finally decide in the last mission that the people who win are going to get a chance to use a walker. Now, meanwhile, Ezra has
Snuck into the
office of
Cows.
Callus
Yes.
and gotten the floppy disk.
Yep. He
And-
pulled out the Windows 95 disk from the machine. With the help of, we have to not skip over that
Right.
part. His buddy there finds out what he's doing, and it's the one with the sister. What's his name again?
Zari.
Zari. And instead of turning him in, this is when they have that moment where he realizes, oh, this is another kid in the thing who doesn't like the Empire. He's in the
Right.
training, but and distracts Callus while Ezra gets the disc. And
Yep. Pod racer parts.
I actually thought that was kind of funny. These are your pod racer parts. I don't want
I
any
don't want
pod
pod
racer
racer parts. Who wants pod racer parts? You know, like,
How would I need pod racer?
Hey, what am I gonna do with this pod racer parts? Hey, wait for what?
I was actually sitting there thinking, like, it would have been even funnier if he was like, I bet on that 3 weeks ago. What are they doing here? You know, like- so
Yes, I got my parts finally. I can build my
Finally.
pod.
yes, if you like walked out, I was like, happy,
that's
like
when-
a giddy little school kid, like, yay!
So that's when Ezra. Now I'm trying to remember, when did Ezra learn that the Inquisitor was coming? He overheard it.
He was stuck. He was leaving. He
That's
opened the
what
hatch and went,
Woo! So they go and rescue the other guy, the kid who's second right after
Right.
him, who's taken by the Inquisitor. And
Right.
the three of them hatch this.
the walker.
So then the plan is to use the walker. At this point, Ezra's sent into the rebel team. They're gonna go get the Kyber crystals. He was supposed to meet with them, and he didn't.
He stays.
He stayed behind to save some of these kids, because I think, quite honestly, he felt bad for them.
Oh yeah.
And so they take off to go after the Kyber crystals. Meanwhile, he stays behind. While the next day, 3 other cadets, other than Ezra, end
Two
up
of them
winning.
being the other two.
2 of them being the ones that he wants. They end up winning the competition, and they end up getting in the walker. And Ezra realizes this is their chance to escape.
Yeah,
So-
well, it was
Escape.
Jai, Zer, and the the guy that was actually wanting to beat Ezra.
Right.
He
Correct.
thought he
wanted
was
to win. Right.
better than Ezra.
Right.
Right.
I keep
So-
wanting to make that joke.
Better than Ezra.
Thank you.
I get it. I get it.
And I'm
It's
totally.
like every time I hear Ezra, and I'm just
Like
like,
you wanna- yeah.
where do I put that joke in?
I'm waiting.
The Christian side of me wants to reach for the Bible and go, hang on, that's in there somewhere. Sorry. So,
An entire book of the
there's a whole
Bible,
book in the
man.
Bible about that. So,
So they're in their walker and they're learning how to operate it. And
I thought it was brilliant that they grabbed the operator's gun without him
Yeah.
even knowing it. And they
They shoot, they
Stun 'em.
stun
zap
everybody.
him.
they stun them both. Him and the other kid.
And then, unfortunately, we have another extremely poorly choreographed
Mm-hmm.
sequence where there's a walker that's standing in the middle of a room and no one can seem to stop it.
Everybody's standing still, too. They're watching and not doing
And
anything
there's
about it.
one tank that comes up, that starts shooting at it. It takes forever for this tank that's like 50 yards away to finally hit one of its legs.
Right, yeah.
And just the whole sequence to me was just, again,
Forced.
and poorly
Yeah,
poorly
poorly
choreographed. It's their choreography in this has got to improve because it's what keeps pulling me out
Yeah.
of wanting to get into the
Well,
story.
it's almost like the story writer lost steam on it.
Yeah, he just says, "Well, then there's some action, some firing, and they go to escape." You know, it's like
Right.
you guys plan it out.
Like,
when
yeah,
did
you
it.
figure that out. We'll continue with the actual story over
Yeah,
here. Meanwhile, the rebel crew goes with the ghost and they
Yep.
go find
It's just Cannon and Hera.
yeah,
Is it just that's right?
Yeah.
Because Cannon ends up going in the smaller ship.
because Zeb and
Hera-
Sabine are waiting on the planet
right
to rescue to get Ezra.
Yep, Ezra.
Which
Meanwhile, they break apart and the TIE pilot ships come in and they find where the kyber crystals are.
Because he uses the Force, because the kyber crystals are strong in the Force.
Right, so he can sense where they are and they
what do
distract the
Kyber
TIE
crystals
piloters.
do? Am I missing something
Lightsaber
like?
crystals.
Yeah. I like that sequence, but it
What do
was
the Empire do?
like there, and they really
Yeah.
harken back to Empire and because the whole background was the asteroid belt. It was
Oh, yeah,
really
absolutely.
harken back to that.
And a lot of the shots were looked like the same
Yeah.
angle shots.
Yeah.
That like you can almost pull out the TIE pilot or TIE fighter and Millennium Falcon and replace it with the TIE fighter and like a TIE bomber.
I mean, I was
and
waiting. I
Millennium
didn't
Falcon.
even notice. Maybe you would have because of the music cues. But did they even have that music?
Yes,
that
part of it was.
Yeah. That they were doing. I was wondering if they were having that in there.
it was slower, but it was in.
The sound effect.
You also pointed out that in part of this episode they had Indiana Jones music.
Yeah, it was
which-
totally
the minute you
arc-
said it, it was
the arc
like
theme.
Oh, that is the it was
Listen,
the
for
Indiana
those who
Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark theme.
may not have picked it up, go back, watch the episode, and you will hear the do 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 the whole arc theme
Yep.
that was
Yeah.
When he
in
tries
there.
to
And that was when they're stealing the
when they're
floppy disk.
stealing the floppy
Yeah,
disk.
yeah.
Yeah, that was going on. It was a little awkward too when you said that. It took me a moment, but like the minute you said that, I was like, yeah, I wasn't paying
I
attention.
mean, it may
to
not be
there,
note
but
for note, but they're even using
it's
the
pretty
same
close.
sound of
It's-
instrument and stuff.
It's
so
pretty close. I think the
yeah.
orchestration's almost the same. Even, so anyway, that happens, and of course they escape and they destroy the kyber crystals. Yay!
Which
everybody's
was
happy
a nice explosion. I kind of liked that. That it
there.
was
I like
such a
the fact
powerful
that it
explosion.
destroyed everything and it chewed up
Yeah.
all the TIE
That I thought
fighters.
was nice.
vaporized everything.
Yeah, just vaporized it. That was kind of cool.
No witness.
Yeah,
No
destroy them.
witnesses.
All
But,
of them.
but like every big explosion like that, does it keep on going on and on and on? And on?
Nope.
No,
it
it had to stop
dissipates.
somewhere.
Why?
I don't know. Just like the Star Trek explosion, it stopped. I don't understand that one either.
I still say they're using a whole lot of.
When Pat Prime blew up the Klingon moon,
Yeah.
that went on forever.
Oh yeah, he totally.
Yeah, that one
Sulu's
did.
ship crashed into it.
Yeah.
So you see that's what.
Like, at least they could have done was maybe like pushed the ship a little bit. You know what I mean? Pushed it off course or something a little.
Well, they shot into hyperspace and beat it, but
Yeah.
hyperspace. Oh my god, light speed. What
Well,
am I saying?
no,
Well, it
it
was
went
kinda-
down the tunnel with the TARDIS.
I was gonna say, and the one looked like the tunnel of the
There was
TARDIS.
one shot. Yeah, well, that's where they were going out to the ships.
Yeah, right.
They were on their way, and it completely looked like the opening to Doctor Who with
Yeah.
that tunnel. It was just.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
And
And then all of a sudden, the TARDIS goes by. What's that?
What would have been neat is when they went into hyperspace, you see that one droid that got lost in hyperspace.
right. Little Clone Wars that you're talking about, yeah. And have them go by going, ah! That would have been fun.
I still say they're
A great
using-
homage, and we would have all laughed.
Smacks on the ghost
Yeah.
or something.
I was waiting for the TIE pilot ships to come in and going, wow, as they came in. Anyway. So anyway, meanwhile, back on the other planet,
at the training facility.
at the training facility, they finally bring down the walker completely down after
And
they
here's
shoot the
another
legs
thing.
down.
What happened to the tank after it brought down the walker? Did all the guys jump out and then get? I know at one point stormtroopers are being sniped.
Yeah,
by
they
Zeb,
jumped out.
but it's like you don't stay in your tank.
Yeah, like yeah.
Gee, that's not
You don't
smart.
stay on your protective. You got to jump out and get shot by Zeb. That's what the whole plot says. So they get shot by Zeb, and in comes Sand Speeder, and everybody jumps on board.
Except
and they take off.
Luke's
Not everybody.
While the
one.
what's his name now?
There.
Gets left. Zare gets left behind.
He stays behind.
Right.
He consciously
opts to
says-
stay
He says,
behind.
"I will stay here to figure out what happened to my sister."
Yes.
So then we have that.
Then they show what a real stormtrooper can do.
Yeah, the fact that he can't hit the broadside of a barn there.
Well, he's
As
doing it
much
on
speed,
purpose,
right.
though.
Yeah, this time he couldn't hit it. So
And that's the thing. I'll guarantee you that commander was sitting there going, "He's got the chops to be a stormtrooper. He can't hit anything."
Great job, soldier. So towards the end of the episode, we have the Inquisitor now asking this Zare kid, okay, what's the deal? What's going on with your friends?
Yeah.
And
Those who used to be your friends.
those who used to be your friends, and that's kind of where we ended off. The
So
episode.
obviously that kid's going to come back. There's going to be more of a storyline there. Is he
Like I
going to
said,
go
they would
back?
build it up
Yeah.
for something later on, which will be interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be a Sith that hunts them down
Does he
later.
become bad? Yeah.
And the ghost crew takes the kid and then said, "We'll take it back to your mother, but you're gonna have
You're all
both
going to have to
are
go into
going
hiding. Yeah,
From the Empire. That's
from the
easy.
Empire. Yeah, that'll be easy. So let's.
And then there's the scene you didn't see, which at the end of the episode, there's that and the Inquisitor, and they're throwing a thing back and forth.
yeah,
and swinging.
baseball bat. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Inquisitor's just like, hit this! He's hitting him in the face with it. I'm trying.
Yeah,
This time it's a kid pitching.
Inquisitor's,
yeah, because the Inquisitor won't let him play back.
Can I swing now? No, it's mine.
keep pitching him.
Okay, so let's rate this one. I'll start with this one. I'm actually going to rate this one lower. I thought this one was like a 4.
What?
Again, it brought me out of the Star Wars universe. It didn't bring me in, and that's what was so disappointing. The last episode was so good, and then you compare it to the one, and it's just like you almost do a 180 on it. An 8 and a 4 in my mind because the last one was great, and this one's like a dead opposite.
And my fear is that the last one was so great because so far,
Is it just so bad? Maybe the last one was just mediocre. That episode's maybe mediocre's looking good all of a
that's
sudden.
my fear. So I'm waiting to see more.
So
but-
the one thing that does give me some hope is we do seem to be building a storyline. We're trying to build the characters and stuff in, but it just seems to be moving so slow. And maybe
Yeah.
I'm just crazy about that. Maybe it's me that wants action every 5 seconds, but this one just seemed forced and pushed. It seemed too much like those Clone Wars rookies. Like we're trying to duplicate the success we had with those because they had a lot of success with those. But you can't do that again. Like once you've done that, you gotta move on, people.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I feel like Dave Filoni figured, well, we did this before, let's do it again.
It'll work
You know?
eventually.
And I know there was towards kids. I was just reading the other week. Filoni was complaining that people don't get it. We're gearing it towards kids. I get it, actually, I do. But kids are smarter today than kids of yesteryear.
And here's the other thing: what was the original Star Wars movie geared at? That wasn't aimed,
it wasn't
for,
aimed
parents,
for parents. It was aimed at kids.
and it was a kind of kiddie stuff.
Yeah,
so-
absolutely. And I'm not I just don't buy this whole we're gearing it towards kids. It's not enough. It's not enough to just gear it towards kids. You have to pace it. Storylines. Kids
Yeah.
want a good storyline. It's why they get things like Pokemon and stuff like that. Those actually have decent storylines in them.
Yeah.
And just remember, when Bob was a kid, he got traumatized by one of the movies. The one that started.
I did, man. Empire Strikes Back scared the crap out of me.
Oh, I can believe it.
So, Gary like this one.
Let's no Garys. They were in that one.
Three.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to do your 3 with this one. Anything to set you off the most?
Get away from Ezra.
Okay.
Well, let's learn more about the other crew members.
Okay.
Let's get a better backstory on Zeb.
Not enough Han.
Yes.
Okay. Austin, what would you rate this one?
Somewhere between a 5 and a 4.
Okay.
So
you're at like a 4.5.
there's a reason is I'm kind of lenient. I want to see what's going to happen next. Another show on Disney XD, the Tron episodes. There was the one kid that he saves, the new Tron saves.
Yeah.
He comes back as a villain to fight him. That's what I feel is going to happen here. I want to see what's going to happen.
It seems to be a Disney MO thing sometimes. So
I saved you. Now you're going to kill me? What the heck?
okay. And Eric, what would you rate this particular
I'm
episode?
gonna go like a 4.
Okay.
I had way too many problems with the choreography and stuff. It seems like they were trying to tell too many little story. It started off being about getting the plans, but then it came about the kid whose sister was missing, but then it also became about the Inquisitor coming, and it felt a little like they were trying to do too much in it, with none of it being super interesting.
Right.
And again, not enough action. That episode where they're saying we're playing the long game. We're setting things up for a much further down the road payoff with this. We introduce this other kid character and all the stuff like that. But I still think there's ways you can do that are more interesting than the way they did it.
And less forced.
And less forced. And, you can have a test that isn't climbing out of a hole 3 times. And you can, it's like, here's your prize. You get to get in a thing you've never been trained on and walk around in it. That's not going to go badly. It's
They had a supervisor.
It just seemed like, they did, but I don't know.
The supervisor got killed, but
stunned. They stunned him because it was definitely the stun job. But I don't know. I know what they're trying to do with it. They're introducing the new characters, showing a bit of the cadets.
Yeah.
But it just felt, and also felt, and you just said it that way, kind of empty and lifeless. Like people just stood around. And in this training room, it's a gigantic bay, and there's nobody in there doing anything, and very little people around, and so it just felt kind of lifeless to me.
Yeah.
One of the things I want is start to introduce some of the characters that we've already know. They're in A New Hope and stuff. Start mentioning their names or something, like Tarkin and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you don't have to show them, just mention.
Yeah, or just have a.
Which they did already. I mean, Tarkin was mentioned in an earlier episode.
Was he?
It was I think it was when they were harassing the street vendors. I think it was that episode somewhere there they mentioned about taking some of Tarkin.
There was General Tarkin's paid us to give you this Wookiee.
Oh, it might have been the ones. Yeah,
the hairless Wookiee.
But still, just
more. They could do that more.
Bring him in. Have him stand next to the Inquisitor or something.
Or it would give the Inquisitor some weight.
It's kind of like our have a thing in the background about Vader just killed a Jedi. You know what I mean? Just on a TV screen in the background, even
running tally.
You know what I mean? Like something like that. That would be enough to say, "Oh, that's cool."
When they were doing the newsreel,
I did like that little bit of that episode. Yeah,
where the Jedi is found and is captured and she's at this place. Have Vader just kills 4
message. Those guys were talking about we want to see her free and stuff, and then the Empire cut in and said,
this message is depleted.
Yeah. So
this message was not brought to
again. Comparing the 2 episodes, that one, Rise of the Old Masters was much better.
Thought out, more thought out. So.
And this one just didn't feel like it had any life to it.
Yeah, instead of just keep creating worthless characters, like the 2 Imperial officers. It's like whoopee.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't like the big one too. He felt like kind of the doofus, your next test is gonna be this: climb out of the hole.
Hodor.
Yeah, he did kind of have a Hodor feel to him.
I only know that because of Will Wheaton.
Maybe he runs the Hodor around now.
Yeah, maybe.
Hodor. Okay.
Will Wheaton.
So we need to get away from that. All right, so that's what we thought of Rise of the Old Masters and Breaking Ranks. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Head on over to GalaxyCast.com and check it out. And don't forget to check out our blog at GalaxyCast at WordPress.com. And as we always like to say here in Star Production Studios,
may the Force be with those who listen and awaken.
And awaken, yes.
And awaken.
3.
Okay, video
folks. We put a lot in there for only... Oh, I'm taking my headset off here.
Yeah.
Still going.
Okay, video folks,
Hi,
that's
people.
it for tonight. Thanks very much for watching us, and I hope we didn't annoy the crap out of you too much.
And for those of you who were wondering about the hoodie I'm wearing, I do want to just say a little thing about it.
Hang on, of you who... Let me zoom in on you here. There you go.
If you can figure it out.
Ta-da! Obviously, this is Captain America from The Winter Soldier. This is his stealth suit. And Eric today is modeling a lovely stealth suit. This was something that I actually designed. If you were at San Diego Comic-Con, this was a Marvel exclusive hoodie that was being sold. I read online an article, we talked about this before, that there was like a 3-hour wait to get these, and these sold out first. And I can see why. It's really a nice design. I'm not saying because I just did it, but the suit itself
it's a cool
I mean, all it is a recreation of the suit in a simplified way, but it's a nice touch. They put the real straps on that are stitched in. Sold out. I never got one even. I designed the thing. They wouldn't get me one. So months and months later, if you've been paying attention and look on ThinkGeek, all of the hoodies that were available as exclusives at San Diego Comic-Con are on ThinkGeek now. I think wide versions. They're not quite the same probably level of craftsmanship material. They're not the exclusives anymore, but they're still really good. And
all of them except for one. The one that's killing me.
I am just
the
so
Shield and Hydra reversible.
Oh, that's not on there. Yeah. But here's the thing.
Like,
I know why. Shield reversible Hydra was not released at San Diego Comic-Con.
It was
held at New
Comic-Con.
York, and the ones I did at New York, which was Drax, Groot, and then the Shield reversible, none of those have been released. If they're following suit, probably be sometime around April that they will put those on. They'll release versions of those on ThinkGeek too.
No, we're getting Dad for birthday.
Yeah, I'll be all over that.
But yeah, so I didn't even buy this yet, but my birthday was last week, and some friends of mine for me. So thank you very much to them, and I wanted to wear it tonight because I think it's pretty. I'm still flying the colors.
So
I don't have one of those shirts. I feel out of place.
yeah, we'll get you one.
Yay!
Okay.
Before we go, did
Yes.
you ever get the interview up?
No, I haven't yet. Look for an interview soon on our website from Gigi Edgley. She did get all her money for her project, so she is now running a project called Hashtag. And the idea is she's running a TV show where it's all about you, the fans. You get to tell her
What
storyline is going to be from week to week. And
Interesting.
she's going to run it from week to week based on the storyline you have. She'll give you some options, and you get to hashtag it and vote for it. It's a really cool project. It's a really cool idea. So, Gigi, we are totally in support of this project. She was doing what's the website she used for raising funds for it? I forget the name of it.
Kickstarter was it? Or
Yeah, she had a Kickstarter campaign. I know you can still give to the Kickstarter campaign, so head over and check out hashtag at Kickstarter. It's a cool project. I think it's really cool. Her idea is awesome. The idea that the fans get to run the show. She's going to be starting with it very soon, and my understanding is it's going to be a Netflix exclusive, but her hopes is that at some point a network will pick it up and maybe even continue on with it. So support Gigi Edgley. We love her, man. She's our international protector.
She's on our wall somewhere.
So, yeah, she's right over here.
You just
We can't see her with the camera yet. Hopefully I'll get a new camera soon. You can see an angle. From
Hopefully.
Folks, have a good one. This is the GalaxyCast team saying we're the stars.